Today I'm going to give everybody a run through of the Facebook product feed that is provided within the Pixel Perfect app, and just show you under the hood and show you some of the more advanced options of the product feed that you may not be aware of. And if you're a marketer or you're starting to become more advanced with using dynamic product adverts, then some of this stuff will be quite useful to you. So within the Pixel Perfect app, we provide you with the product feed, but we also allow you access to it so you can edit it, change it, or tailor it to your own specific needs. So it's not hidden and it's not on some server somewhere you can't get to it. It's actually right there in your theme and you can change and edit it. So if you go to Edit HTML on your theme and you look down under templates, you will see page pprss.liquid, and that is the code for your product feed. And you can change it, edit it, mess around with it, do whatever you want with it. Don't worry about breaking it, because if you go over into the Pixel Perfect app, you will see here Pixel Perfect product feed template, latest version 4.0, and the feed is changing all the time. We're forever editing it, adding new things to it, messing around with it, improving it, fixing bugs in it. It's constant. But if you want the latest version, just hit Update Product Feed Template. Hit that button. It says here Pixel Perfect product feed has been updated. Go back here, hit the refresh button, and you will see here somewhere buried in the feed version 4.0, and you are using the latest version of the feed. So also, if you break the feed, if you edit the feed and you mess around with it and it stops working or whatever, just come back here and hit Update Product Feed, and it will put the latest fresh version of the feed back. So do not be worried about busting it. It's really easy to put it back again. So the first thing here is, do you want to include variants in your product feed? And I would say to you this is a bad idea for any one of a number of reasons, which I won't go into, but if you do, you can enable it here. How many products would you like to display on each page of your feed? Now, Shopify places limits on the resources that it gives to your store. And the reason for that is because it doesn't want a few stores breaking things for all the other stores. So it has to create a controlled environment so everybody gets a fair shot at the resources, everybody gets a store that works quickly and works well and doesn't break. You know, it has to have some rules for that environment. And Shopify's limits to what you can grab are 250 products at a time. And if you include variants, if you've got 250 products that have 4 variants each, that's actually 1,000 things that it's pulling, and it will break the feed. So what we've discovered is you can get away with 1,000 products and it will still work. You can't do any more than that. If you've got 2, 3, 4, 5,000 products on your store, you can use a feature called pagination that will allow you to have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and 1,000 products in each. But if you want to include variants, you'll need to reduce that number. So if you've got 250 products with 4 variants, that's 1,000, and we know we can get away with that just about. So we would have to do 250 with variants to keep it under 1,000. But normally, you just leave this alone. Setting lowercase for title and description. Sometimes people have quite shouty all uppercase titles and descriptions for their products, and Facebook doesn't like it, and it will just say no. So this enables you to convert that to lowercase in the feed, so it doesn't break Facebook, but your products stay the same on Shopify, so you still have those shouty uppercase product descriptions if you want them. But in the feed, they're passed as lowercase. Let's go over here and have a look at the feed in a bit more detail. So here's your pagination and variance control. You can manually edit them here, but we recommend that you just use the switch settings here, and it has the same effect. So you do not need to edit the theme code normally. but you can change things in the app and it'll change them in the feed automatically. But there's a few things that are not yet done in the settings in the app dashboard. It's currently December 2016, and we will get round to it early January. We'll put all of the settings in here, so you don't need to edit anything in the feed. But in the meantime, there's a few things that you can do with it. So, for example, Facebook likes 600 by 600 pixel wide images, and most people's product images are not that in Shopify. They're kind of rectangular shaped or bigger or whatever, and sometimes they can look a bit wrong in the catalog. You know, they're not cropped properly, or they're the wrong size, or so. We've got some auto cropping and centering stuff in the feed here. If you change this to on, so assign pp crop equals on, what the feed will do is it will automatically crop your images to 600 by 600, which is what Facebook wants for DPA, and it will try and center the crop as best it can. So for some people that might work. You might not have to do anything, and it just improves it completely for you. Other people, you know, it kind of works not so good. You have to have a play with it and try. There's a few other things down here that allows you to have custom and external images. So if you want, you know, if you think, okay, I like the images in my Shopify store, they're really good, but I want, in the Facebook catalog, I want a bespoke set of 600 by 600 images. Maybe you want lifestyle images or some other sort of image, but you don't want to go editing them in your store. What you can do is you can host them off-site. So Pixel Perfect allows you to host these images off-site, so typically Google Drive or something like that. Put the images that you want in there, and the feed will go and get them externally and pass them into your catalogue. So you're not touching any of the images on your store, but you are having completely optimized images for DPA held somewhere else. So you can do that by just selecting custom to on and external images to on, and then you put the URL of where you're hosting your images in here. So your image hosting URL goes here, and then you need to call the product. The name of the image. It has to be a JPEG, and it has to be the product handle. So if product handle is golf club in red, it would be your image hosting URL goes here.com / golf club in red.jpg. And so long as the name of the image is a JPEG and it matches up with the product handle, you're good to go, and it will upload those images for you. A lot of people are starting to make use of custom labels, and they're kind of calling them Facebook custom labels, which are actually just meta tags in your Shopify store. But it allows you to pass those labels in the feed, and you can create and build audiences from them within Facebook, or you know, all of the good things that you can do with custom fields. So we've supported this. We don't kind of say it, but we sort of use the standard meta fields that things like there's meta field apps out there that allow you to create these, and things like Flexify product feed also uses the same set of meta tags. So if you put custom information into those custom labels, we will pass them as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the corresponding Facebook label. And the way the logic works is if you've got the custom switch set to on to support custom labels. So if FB custom is on and there's something in the meta field, it will pass the contents of that meta field as a custom label. And if it is empty, it will say custom label whatever is empty. And the reason for that is because within the Facebook feed, you can't have some products that have something in the field and some products that don't have something in the field. They either all do or none of them do. So if you want to use some products that have it but not others, the ones that don't, we pass custom label is empty in order to not break the feed. And that's pretty much it. A whole load of interesting things there. Custom labels, You've got external hosting of URLs and external hosting of images. You've got the ability to automatically crop your images to 600 by 600. You've got niche tagging, so if you tag, dog or cat or whatever your niche is, the niches are passed. So all this is kind of going on under the hood. You can select variants or not, and you know what? If you don't like any of it, you can just go ahead here and edit it. And if you edit it and you bust it, you can come back to Pixel Perfect and hit Update Product Feed Template, and it's all put back again. So that's just a little bit of what's going on with the product feed in Pixel Perfect. It's always changing. It's always having new features added to it. Always more compatible. And as a little gift to the world, and if you're listening to this, you'll be one of the few people that know this because we haven't told anybody, but we'll be giving away the product feed free in the new year. So you'll see a Pixel Perfect product feed, and it'll be a free app, and you will get all of this for nothing in January 2017.